Okay, so when the camera last cut out, I believe I was around 15 millimeters in diameter, and just filing it down. So before I realized the camera cut out, I got down to around 13.5 mil, which is very close to the finished size. A little bit far out still, like by 2 millimeter, but close enough that I want to start shaping. So I'm going to be doing a rather classic shape on this. Usually I have 3 shapes, like a straight, a concave, just little dip, and a taper with a lip at the end. So this one I'm going to do a taper with a lip. I'm making this for a 12 millimeter body, just because that's the most common size I work with right now. So to start out, I'm going to put my file flat about, 4 millimeters from the end, maybe a little less, 2 mil from the end, and I'm just going to file down a bit so I have until I have like a nicely developed lip there. Okay, I'm going to take a measurement of that really quick. So yeah, unlock the calipers. And that is 11.1 millimeters, which is around, that's around where I want the lip to be in diameter. So I should go down a little further. And as I go down a little further, I'm tilting the file in this direction to just start off that slant, as I will be tapering the entire section from here to the back. So I'll take another measurement at the thinnest part, and that is 10.25. I want to go a little deeper than that, final dimensions, but for now that's okay. So now I'm going to start with the file at an angle again, filing down the main tapered area. And now I have a fully developed angle on there, so I can just lay the file along the taper and work my way back until I get to the back, and I can get the back even with my 11.1 millimeter mandrel, which matches roughly the threads for 12 by 0.8. Alright, we're getting close all around. I'm getting a little bit of out of round, which I can fix using a chisel. And I need to apply a lot of pressure and engage the cutter at a sharp angle, about 45 degrees. A lot of pressure, sharp angle, and very slow. looks looks like that's mostly fixed, but I'm going to continue that. And it looks like I am just about there. I'm going to present it flat, but still angled downwards, and just touch up that edge so it makes sure it meets with the mandrel. I continued that cut a little bit just to see if I could smooth it out some, and it looks like I did a decent job of smoothing it out. So I'm going to check some diameters. I have 9.7, which is good there. 11.18, which is fine at the back. And then 11.93 at the front lip, and that is too long, or that is too large for the threads to fit over, so I'm going ahead and file that down. That's looking better. $10.86, that's fine. And now I'm gonna let the tailstock out so I can get access to the front and rear of this lip. I'm just gonna touch it up really quickly with this file to just remove sharp edges. Really brief, light contact. I'm not trying to remove a lot of material, I'm just touching it up so it's safe. And this is a rather long section. I did that for two reasons. First, to just give a better demonstration of how it's made, so that y'all could see it exaggerated a little bit. And secondly, because I didn't plan this ahead. So, guess that's as good of a reason as any. Let me get a rubber glove so I can remove this. If I have one down here. Yep, there it is. So I keep a pair of rubber gloves in my shop in order to get stuck stuff off of mandrels occasionally. And this one is particularly stuck. There we go. Helps grip and doesn't tear apart my fingers. Alright, so there we are. It's pretty rough looking right now, but we'll smooth it up next with some sandpaper. And let me see, do I have any threaded pieces down here? I don't think I have any bodies. Well, in any event, it fits in the mandrel, so it should fit in any number of my pens. So now I'm going to take some 180 grit sandpaper. I use Avernet for just about anything and everything. Really recommend this stuff. So got some sandpaper. This is 180, and I'm just going to touch it or clean it up some. I'm still at 1800 RPMs, and I do this dry. You could do it wet if you wanted to reduce dust, but really it makes no difference except for the dust. Alright, that's looking better. I can still see large tool marks, so I'm going to keep going. Okay, so it looks like I got rid of most of the large tool marks, a little bit more down here, but it should take little time. Okay, that's looking good. So next I move up to 240 grit, and I sand pretty much in a process that matches any finishing process, really. I believe this one is 240. Okay, so 240 is looking good. Move on to 320. That's 240. Okay. Yep, so this is actually 400. Well, still looks fine. Okay, and that's looking pretty good. It's not really warm, so I can just go ahead and take that off. Brush it off really fast. And there we have a completed section. So I'll get a nib unit screwed in there, make sure it still fits nicely, which it should because nothing changed. There we are. And okay. So it's a very long nib unit, but it's comfortable. It's a good diameter. And as you can see, hopefully, the nib fits nice and flush within there. You can't see any of the housing except when you're looking straight at it, which in my opinion is the best way to do a housing. It gives the cleanest look. So I'll post some pictures along with this video and put it in one of my pens just as a mock-up. One thing I may do is, actually no, I'll just do that now. So I'm going to shorten up these threads, show you how I do that. So to do that, I need a collet chuck, or a collet that matches the front diameter here, which is 10.63. So an 11 mil collet. Looks like that's the one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in and tighten it until I get a little bit of resistance on just the lip up there. So once I get that small amount of resistance, I know the collet's closing to the diameter that I want it to be. So I got a tiny bit of resistance, so I'm going to slide it in gently until I can't slide it anymore, and then crank it down. So now it should be concentrically clamped between the body, where it tapers, and the front lip, theoretically. And by feeling it, it's spinning very true, so I have it clamped well. Just going to take the file, flat as I did before, press it right up against there. Okay, it looks like the threads are nice and cleaned up. I have little brass pieces on here from what was the threading. So I'm going to touch up this edge. And that should do it. I am going to run the dye over that, just freehand, to make sure that'll go in and out of the section or the body smoothly. Just run that back and forth a few times. Okay. So now the threads are a more manageable length. It's nice and deburred, so it's safe. And it's looking good. So I hope you enjoyed part 2. If there's anything else you all want me to cover, I'd be happy to do it as I get time, but yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions or anything like that in the comments. So hope you enjoyed.